All right, I'm going to go through. I just took you through Evernote and Claro as a productivity tool. I'm just going to take you through the text to speech options under a more general type environment. So you can do text to speech through that function I showed you with the speak setting in your accessibility, but I want to take you really quickly through Microsoft Office 365, the Word document, as it's probably one of the most popular used functions or utilities in the vet sector anyway, and possibly across other sectors. So I'll take you through that very briefly. All right, welcome back. Not welcome back, I was just talking to you a minute ago. Anyway, welcome to my next level of conversation, which is around Word 365 and some of the stuff that's in that. I just want to cover really quickly the text-to-speech function. Right, I'm going through what I showed you under the NETWARE video, how to get into that. Remembering that the online version has this feature, as does the apps on the devices, but your licensed desktop version doesn't necessarily have it. All right, let's open a document. This is one I created in response to putting this together, these series of videos. I give myself an overview, and I want that to read to me. If I highlight like I do on my pad, for example, and then right click, it doesn't actually have that function to speak to me. It does have a lot of other functions which are quite useful. Where it is, it's under the View tab. So if I go to the View tab, you'll see a thing called Immersive Reader. So I'm going to start putting that in now. It brings you up to this screen, which is really cool, and you'll notice that this is the same function that's built to the ThingLink document that captures the overview of all these processes. It's the same system.
Video on NETWARE, desktop capture video, how to log on via the internet to give access to Moodle and Office 365 / quick reference to Student Central. 300 and...
So there you go. And you can change some of the settings in the voice in here. That was actually female. I've been mucking around with female, male. Still seems to be coming up as female. I don't know why. I'm not too bothered about it. It might be the fact that I need to log on and restart again. Not bothering me. I can speed it up. If you
365 online versus licensed version. Use of the cloud and access to Wi-Fi to reduce data costs.
I find the faster you go, the more it loses some sort of personality. But anyway, that's just me. I like to probably be better speed.
Google Chrome resources, screen capture, and Zoom audio.
Alright, there is some other functionalities built into here, so you can make the text bigger, smaller. You've got grammar stuff around. Well, really, this stuff's unbelievable what you can do, and I think it's pretty much like Picture Dictionary. These are actually, this whole Immersive Reader function is pretty much replacing text read-write. That's just because it's included. It's not an add-on to a taskbar. Anyway, that's a story, or that's a discussion for another time. But yeah, so there you go. Immersive Reader in 365. It'll just about do any Word documents, which is why I wanted to show that to you in line with some of the other things I've already shown you. Very quickly, other things to bear in mind when you're doing this sort of stuff is, if we're talking text to speech, I already showed you Claro, which will do all the, it'll do, well, not all of, it'll do a lot of the PDF documents, sorry. And one of the other things I wanted to show you is, if I'm using the internet, for example, and this is my blog page on the internet, I'm going to use something different again. It's a little trick. It's called Speechify.
NDCO Perspective Matters podcast is back for 2020 with a special interview with Glenn Mercer from Wangaratta. I first met Glenn late last year at a special information session for business and...
So there you go. What's that doing is it's highlight. If I highlight anywhere on a web page, I just click in my taskbar, the Speechify tab.
Glenn, where do I start, like? I was bullied. Parents were like, don't play with that kid. I was last picked for basketball. I was actually a great athlete when I was younger, and I wanted to go to the Little Athletics, and my parents were told not to bring me back.
So you can see how that works in your taskbar. So that to me, so the three things I'm really talking about now is your Claro Reader for anything, especially offline. Then you've got your 365 for any Word documents. And then for anything on the web, I'd use something like Speechify. But don't be restricted to what I'm sort of suggesting to you. Have a play around, as in do your best search engine knockout. And I'll also provide links to the Microsoft Tools accessibility video stuff here as well. Which brings me to my next session. Let's talk about something I'm really interested in at the moment, and that's speech to text, especially in the environment that we now find ourselves in, where supports can be a little bit limited working from home.